Okay, we have ourselves an Age of Mythology point of view game to watch. Today, we are watching Satfat, Saturated OP Fat. He is a streamer. He's actually streaming right now. He played this game about an hour ago. A while ago, I got a YouTube comment asking for Satfat games, and I know I've done some at some point, but I don't think I've ever done a point of view watching him, apart from when he's just doing some random cheese. So I don't know what happens to this game, but we're going to be watching it from his perspective. He's playing on the map Key, which of all the Egyptians, I feel Set, at least in the early game, should have a pretty good time because it is all about getting those cows in, and the cows can be, the cow scouting with Set is obviously pretty decent because you can get a priest, you can get this baboon of Set, and you'll be having a nice time. Probably equally as good is HR here, which is Hells. Playing as the Aranos, he does get 3 scouts. I think maybe I put a little bit too much emphasis on these cows. Normally, if you trade them relatively equal, or like 75% to 20, or maybe like 60-40, then it's fine. But anything above that, then it really does make a big difference, especially if you're going on the aggressive and you can limit the amount of cows your opponent gets. It can be nice. You just got to practice your cow micro. And now the baboon's going to be having a look. So what is Satfat going to go into? Now, I played him a few times, and I mean, he's a Set mains. He has many different Set play styles that he can really go for. He is against Aranos, so I'm expecting to see some kind of early Axeman barracks kind of situation. The issue is with that, which if anyone hasn't played against Aranos or Gaia and hasn't realized how strong the Mamillo are, but with the Caladria, the Axeman, you need so many to actually beat the Mamillos, even though the Axemen are a hard counter. And they've been buffed semi-recently, probably like 2-3 months ago, where they get more HP. They're still tough to beat up those Mamillo, but I still think that's probably what we'll see from Satfat. Unless he finds a good TC, then obviously that could change things. But he is against Aranos. You normally have to expect to be not rushed, but you have to expect to have some aggression onto you. Hells can be quite an aggressive player as well. So we'll see what he's got coming in here. There's also these green pheasants. He's microing them down nicely, which is a good thing to do near the start. Just know how many shots each of these things takes. So green pheasants here, one of the new creatures. You need 2 shots to actually take one of these out. So just get 2 villagers. They have 100% accuracy, at least I'm pretty sure they do. So it's better to do that rather than overkill with all of them, and then they all walk around to these things that only have 150 food in. It's a nice idea. And the temple actually going up with 1 villager, so as efficient as you really can be. And I think we'll be expecting to be advancing after this next villager, so around that kind of 3:30-ish mark, whatever the new timings are. And the temple will be heading up. He's getting a house on this backside. It's also got a relatively good gold mine here. There might be a gap. I don't think there's a gap around this side, so just a cheeky little wall this side, or even building your barracks this side. And Satfat should have a pretty good time against those early Mamillos that will probably be coming for him. There's a chance that there's Terma, but nowadays, probably not. It's normally Mamillos. Now, what are we going for here? Moving 10 over to the gold mine. It could mean a town center. That is kind of how many you would have. You would have this many if you wanted a TC. But what it also means is you can spam out priests, you can get a barracks up or get 2 barracks up and then start to get units out. So normally what you do want to go for is a decent amount of gold when you're moving into basically whatever you're going for. Unless you're going for a fast heroic, then you would leave loads on food, get an armory up and do that sort of thing. So it's just hedging your bets, basically moving all your villagers over to this gold mine. And he spotted the oracles, which is one reason Set is a pretty nice counter, at least to the scouts of Atlanteans, is because he can find them very easily. He has so many free units that he can find around, and you can slowly take those down. Obviously, if Hells wants to convert these into heroes, then that is a way to take out the animal, but yeah, that costs resources, and very early on you don't really have the resources to do that. But the Caladria is over here, so this poor black bear of Set isn't really going to be getting much done. And actually, Satfat is going for the second TC, also scouting the Aranos second town center. So I believe he's probably going to have to play some kind of defensive situation here. I'm sure he is prepared for it. He's getting his obelisks up on this side. He's got his granary. He's got these Cero animals. Does anyone know what these animals are? I've literally never heard of these up until this map, or any of the new maps. And a delayed vision So he has seen, what has he seen? Has he seen double barracks? He's seen double barracks, so knows that the Mamillo are coming. He's also seen the Mamillo running around. I'm surprised to not see the vision beforehand. Maybe the vision right at the beginning maybe shows Hells that he's going for a second town center, but it's probably not stoppable, really. This map is pretty big, and if he wants to go for a TC, he should be able to get it. Even if the Carnivora comes over, you have your Priest, you have your Pharaoh, you can kind of take that out, especially with all the animals. You also don't mind the animals dying next to your second town center because then you just get the food. So it looks like, are there any barracks coming up? No, it's a market. So actually 2 town center, fast heroic from Satfat, and no Mamillo in his base just yet. There's a lot of relics here that he's probably going to be giving up. Villagers train faster. Okay, here come a few units. So he is going to be pushed off of this gold mine, but he does have that super safe gold mine with obviously loads left in it. So shouldn't really be too worried. And in comes all the gazelles and everything that the priests have been out doing. How many priests did he get? Did he just get the one? I think he just got the one. I hit my scout hotkey and I realized I don't have I have an all hero hotkey. So yes, there is just one priest. That priest has been pretty busy. So nice play where that's concerned. And he is just going up to the next stage, just having to go through Sekhmet. So what's the idea here? You can obviously go for some kind of shifting sands situation. We'll have enough favor in, with just that one monument earlier, we'll have enough favor to get a scarab. If he wants to shifting sands, free scarab plus second scarab over. We actually saw this in the most recent S tier tournament. I can't remember who did it. I think it might have been 3DB or it might have been against him. I think it was that set that did a shifting sands, took out the town center, and it was very, 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 very nice. Now, Satfat does want to move over to his gold mine. He's getting an obelisk up, so we'll see that all the Mamillo are coming. So these units do have to be a little bit worried. Does notice it just in time and should be able to save them. Big shockwave, though, and that's 1 villager going down, 2 villagers, 3, potentially a 4th villager. The Pharaoh also trying to run away, and that was unfortunate with the shockwave. But nice play from Hells. That's definitely what he needs to do going up against the 2 TC player. And now the Pharaoh and the Priest can heal everybody back up. So Sekhmet is in. So that is exactly what he wanted. But I'm just surprised to not see some kind of Axeman situation. You know that you're against the Mamillos. Maybe they don't counter them well enough. Maybe he has some kind of heroic age plan that he wants to go for. Maybe it's chariot archers. He has gone into getting hand axe now. And Sekhmet gives you the chariot archers with the extra range. That's, I mean, we shouldn't really see Hell's perspective, but that's what he thinks. He's getting out some Terma. So wants to go for those chariot archers instead of just those barracks units. Now in comes Hell's again, knowing that Satfat's probably want to go for this mining camp, and the Migdal stronghold might be denied. Citadel Center on this side is a good idea because Citadel Center really does pack a punch. You could even get your Pharaoh on this to boost the damage even further, but then Pharaoh on the Migdal stronghold to obviously get that up a little bit quicker too. And this is what I mean about these giraffes of Set. If they go down next to the Citadel Center, it really doesn't matter. And Satfat will get his Migdal stronghold up exactly as he wanted. Had to be put in a pretty defensive spot, not one that secures this gold mine from the Terma hitting it. But I mean, he should be fine to get out whatever he wants. And now he's going triple barracks, so does want to support the Migdal stronghold units with just a couple of barracks units with that triple barracks, also monument to the soldiers in the perfect spot to hit everything to make all these units just a little bit cheaper as the old set bonus. Of the what's this called? Hands of the Pharaoh. So the priest upgrade for extra priest range, which will be nice. Basically, if you want to use your priests in your army, just get that upgrade. Didn't get it earlier to get any relics because he had to go for that second town center and kind of give up the map pressure. But I think he's in a pretty good spot here. He's defended nicely. Did lose 3 villagers, which wasn't ideal. But I think in a fine spot anyway. If you're the 2 TC player or the 1 TC player, you want to get more kills than just 3, really. And the Migdal isn't actually building many units. He's got 2 chariot archers out. He's got 1 camel, and then looks like he's going into slingers. Does have the electron bullets, does have slings of the sun. And that is what he's deciding to go for. So it is barracks units after all. Got a camel coming in to have a scout. Could also get that upgrade from the temple, this one, to get the free visions in, just to see what your opponent's doing, whether or not he's going for some kind of heroic age, whether he's going for a second town center of his own, if he's just massing units. You know, you're not sure what he's actually going for. And a nice little raid from Hell's going for another shockwave. The villagers don't have their equipment to make them a little bit tankier, so it's going to lose some more, all that poison damage coming through, and another 3 snipes. There could be a 4th one, but nice garrison inside the sentry tower. And no little cheeky walls to stop that one. I mean, there would need to be quite a few cheeky walls, really. And then it stops them being as cheeky when you've got to pay loads of resources for them. But the Satfat units will come over, and he's got a decent amount of vision here. We're watching from his point of view, and you can just see so far. Also, a little bit of a sky passage situation. Hell was trying to sneak through onto this gold mine, potentially wanting to go for a 3rd gold mine, gold starve. That's often a good strategy, to be honest, against these 2 TC plays, especially if you can start sniping the villagers so they don't really have the villager lead. Let them have their gold mine that they paid so much to secure, and then go for the next gold mine, which may be what he's going for. But the camel riders are going to be having a look around, and the heroic age army is looking pretty menacing, to be honest. Catapultes should be able to get inside the sky passage, and that is going to go down. It's a good shout to bring all your units over, because the Hell's units could jump out the sky passage whenever it wants. And still shifting sands to be used whenever he really wants to. If he wants to go in for some attack, he wants to go for some big raid, maybe shifting sands against the Aranos, it's going to be hard to raid him. A nice raid from Hell's on this side, though, but very, very quick reaction time, thanks to, well, it doesn't even need to be the quick reaction time, because the obelisk allows a good 5 seconds before you even see those coming in, so you just see a blue dot. Especially if you get this big map. Always suggest the big map. Then you can see those blue dots pretty well. Hell's playing around his manners really nicely. You can only garrison 2 units in, so 1 villager and then 1 oracle, which is basically a villager. And I imagine there'll be a sky passage around here somewhere that the catapultes can jump through to save these units. But if there isn't, Satfat will be able to snipe some boys. It looks like there's no reaction either, so it's going to be a pretty big snipe. Oracle and a citizen. The wiggle on Wednesday. I called it wiggle for Wednesday. I know, I'm just baiting. I know what it was. I don't know where it comes from. I know it's your guys' meme. But it looks like Satfat is looking for Mythic Age. So 2 TC, fast heroic into handful of units to stem the bleeding, put the pressure on elsewhere, and then some kind of Mythic Age to go through Horus is his plan. So that's been pre-queued. He is against a few Satyrs. I mean, Avengers would be a nice answer to Satyrs. There is a couple of Chariot Archers being caught out, unfortunately. The army kind of split, but then similar for Hells, he did have one of his Satyrs kind of loose, so pretty even trade there. Handful of, or 4 units from Satfat for 1 Satyr. I'd probably take that trade if I was the Egyptian player. The Satyrs are brutal when they get massed up. Now the cows. See, the cows do matter. He's still on cows, and got his Black Bear of Set. Now everything coming back, and this does allow Set to get pretty decent Mythic Age timings with only 2 farms, or 5 farms needed to be placed, whereas the other ones would need to drop farms. But earlier, admittedly, Ra can just use the rain to get there, and then Isis can use Prosperity number 2 if she wants to. So maybe they all have a good option to get Mythic Age pretty quick. And it is going to be a Horus. Levy barracks, Levy Migdal soldiers too. I think these are forgotten more often than not, and they're actually reasonably cheap. And it definitely needs to be a bit of baiting here. You don't want to be losing any units if you are the Set. Nice to have the priests around, get everything back up to full HP. Looks like some spearmen. So basically just a bit of everything. Did we see the Cantarius there? I didn't actually notice, but Satfat either saw the Cantarius or he's just expecting them, wants to go into those Spearmen. Spearmen with Horus upgrades are probably the best recipient of those Horus upgrades, really. You get the extra speed, you get the extra HP, and the Spearman has the most base of those anyway, compared to the other units, so it's just a nice idea to get the Spearman out. And could get those Patar upgrades too. This guy here. Yeah, these ones. These are the ones being in. There is a Tornado available too. Plus Chaos on the side of Hell. So there'd be some big god powers. You can Shifting Sands away from the Chaos. I mean, we haven't really mentioned yet. But if Satfat's ready for it, you can just hit your hotkey and just go like that. You can just go really, really quick and shift out. I think it takes like 2 seconds to shift. Is he trying to shift in? He's got loads of villagers moving over here. I think he's just going for this gold mine, but Hells is already on it with a Satyr plus Cantarius to run away. So we did see the Cantarius forward palace too, which is a nice place. So it looks like he is trying to go for some kind of gold pressure, at least on that third gold mine. Chaos is in. Is there going to be Shifting Sands out? It's probably a little bit late now. Maybe not. There was a decent amount. Nice play. Gets out and actually didn't lose too many units there. Priest can heal back up. And the Tornado used on a big amount of army here. Thought he was safe with the palace, but didn't actually manage to do that. I mean, look how much damage it does to the Satyrs. And they're all going to go down. There's absolutely brutal. The Tornado was just following them around. I feel that you can just get lucky with the Tornado sometimes. Maybe players know exactly the route it takes. I feel like it's random, but maybe it goes a certain way every time. Maybe someone can enlighten me. But now this gives the set an absolutely huge power spike to just go in. It's going to go in with his... He does have unupgraded units, though. That is something that going fast Mythic, even off of 2 TCs, does mean that you don't really have the upgrades, but you do have one spinny boy that can just keep running through, absolutely slashing and melting. Definitely worth getting a couple of Avengers. Maybe if you're going for this, like, kind of push after the Tornado, rather than get the upgrades, just spend your favor on one of these. How much are they? 22 favor. He could pretty much get 2. By the time the first one's finished, you probably have the favor for the next one. But a little bit of Carnivora on this backside. If the priest's paying attention, maybe it's worth taking the Satyr out first. And pretty much all Satyrs are taken out, which is honestly the brunt of Hell's damage. Now the Scarab, I'm tanking for days. And the Scarab's one of those underrated units. I think I say that about so many Myth units, but he's ridiculously strong, especially when he dies and does so much damage. And Satfat does come away with that win there. So just a really nice defense on that Migdal Stronghold. And the, let's call it the semi-fast Mythic off of the 2 TCs. And pretty nice play on that Tornado too.